Hey, it's my first video. I'm so excited. I've been talking about this for a long time and I finally did it, y'all. Hey, I'm here. It's my first video. Me in my room. Okay. This first video is gonna be All the Queen's Men. Y'all watch All the Queen's Men? It's really good. Not as good as P-Valley, because P-Valley is by far like the best show I've ever seen. But this show was really good too. Y'all know it's got Eva in it or whatever. And a lot of these episodes, if not all these episodes, are directed by Kim Fields. Y'all know Kim Fields. That's good too. But it kind of is like a male P-Valley, but still not as good as P-Valley, but like a male P-Valley. It's really good. So I'm gonna skip all of that. I'll probably give a true introduction in another video. We'll get into all of that later, but that's cool. So All the Queen's Men is a drama, okay, created by Christian Keys. I got notes right here. That's why I keep looking. I got notes. So created by Christian Keys, and Tyler Perry is executive producing. So Zia co-creator. I don't know. Like I said, Kim Fields be directing the show, the episodes and stuff. So that's cool. It's got Eva in it, a lot of familiar faces or whatever. And y'all know this show got Bolo in it. Y'all watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. You probably watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know who Bolo is? Bolo in this show. Okay. So I'm gonna just jump into it. I'm gonna just start. So we start off, Madam, she is getting up out the bed. Let me pick this up so I don't gotta keep looking down. I can look at y'all. You see Madam getting up out the bed, and she, you know how you get up and she walking around, and she's like, either she thinking to herself or she's talking to herself or whatever, because we hear her having random thoughts, and we see like multiple hers like moving about or whatever. So, and she's saying, sometimes she's saying like down talking herself a little bit, but like we all do that a little bit, but then she pep talk herself back up. So I don't know, like I said, is it multiple personalities or she just regularly talking to herself? And she also say something like I'm not sick and I'm not taking no medicine or whatever. So I guess we'll get into all of that later on. So that's fine. Then my nephew saying, Auntie, I'm out. Okay, so then the intro come on. So boom, come back from the intro to two people hunching. They hunching, and it's Bolo hunching her. We already said that. And she hooping and hollering or whatever, and she like it. She hooping and hollering and all of that. And his name, Bolo on the show, his name is Doc. So her husband pull up, a car pull up or whatever. She like, oh, it's Island here or whatever. I don't give a fuck. He jump out the window. So the husband come in and he all weed and stuff, and she looking stupid. So he like, well, what you about to do? And she was like, oh, I'm about to take a shower. So before you take a shower, he put his hand between her legs, and then like smelled it. So he already knew what was up. So at that point, boom, stole the shit out of her, right? And then who is it? And then y'all, and then he raped her. He cracked her and was like, you gonna tell me who it is. You gonna tell me who it is. Like, that's like way too much. Way too much. So we come from that or whatever. We come from that, and Madam pick up the nephew from jail. And he says, hey, Auntie. And she gave him a look or whatever. He was like, oh, I'm sorry, Madam. So her name, Madam. That's her name. Call her Madam. Okay? Period. What does this say? Oh, they get in the car. She handed him a phone. It was like, your phone from 09 won't work. So that lets us know that he been there since 09. So then he got 60 days in the halfway house or whatever. And she offered him a job. Because did I tell y'all she run the club? She run the strip club. Did I not say that? I'm sorry. She runs the strip club. The male strip club. It's called Eden. Fine. So she offers him a job at the club. He like, nah, I got it. I'm going to find a job, whatever. He wants to make a stop. He asks her, can we make a stop somewhere? So they do. But anyway, cut from that, we cut to a courtroom scene, okay? And we see the judge. The judge is giving Patrice Wilbine. That's who she looked like. She looked like Mercedes' mama, but that's not her. But it's really giving her all that. So, what happens? I'm sorry. So, we see a guy and a lady. The guy is the defendant or whatever, and she was asking him, do he not have representation? No, I can't afford a lawyer. And then the lady, what's the word? Complainant. There we go. the complainant, she all fussing and hollering, he got money, whatever. So then her lawyer says he works at a strip club eating, and he makes thousands of dollars a week. And he says, the guy, the defendant, no, I can't. I make $1,000 a week. I make about $1,000 a week. That's what he said. And what happens? What my notes say? Oh, so then the judge was like, you got some taxes for that? Some taxes, and the girl still fuss and talk about taxes. So we cut from that. We go back to Madam and Aunt. The nephew's name is Aunt. I keep forgetting to tell y'all who these people is, but the nephew name is Aunt. They pull up to a house, and he tried to apologize. It's a lady like out gardening or something, and he tried to apologize to her, and she don't seem too receptive. And then the dude pull up in a black Charger, and he pull up and jump out and pull out, you know what I'm saying, put it up to his head, and what you doing here, whatever. And Madam, at the meantime, she was on the phone with somebody like fussing, and when she seen that, she woke up in the shadows real good, because they let her do her. It was like, because you know Eva's walk, but she was giving Eva gangster model, Eva gangster walk or whatever. So the old lady's crying. She started crying. Well, she's not that old, but she crying and saying, no, don't do it. And then so they leave, and Madam is fussing, don't be doing that. Let me know before you do some stupid mess like that. That was the mother and the brother. And he was like, yeah, so I don't know, he did something to somebody, and apparently that was their mother and their brother, but we don't find that out until later on. So back to the courthouse or whatever, the guy, the defendant, and then like his friend, they talking, and clearly the guy who was the defendant, he got like a sugar mama or whatever. So basically these two guys are strippers. They don't tell it right here and there, but I'm gonna just go ahead and tell it for identification purposes. So the defendant dude, his name is Babyface, okay? His name is Babyface, and the lady was his baby mother, and she fussing because she want money, and he's saying that she not doing nothing with the money. He giving her money, but she only taking care of herself. She buying red bottoms and the baby wearing Pampers and no shirt or whatever. But he got a sugar mama named Miss Patty who always coming to the club, and she take care of him or whatever. But she don't know about the kid, but she a lawyer. So if she find out, she can be mad because she possessive or whatever and all that. Fine. So his friend that he was talking to, that's another stripper. His name Fuego, okay? His name is Fuego. And he's like, you know, you don't got no taxes to prove nothing. And you know, Madam don't like that. Madam gonna go off. She don't be wanting them people in her business or whatever. And so, fine. They know not to play with her. We move from that. We go back to Madam and Aunt. They pull up to another car. And this time, Madam was like, no, stay your ass in the car, okay? I ain't got time for you. Sit your ass right here. So Madam go in the house, and it's her sister house. Her name is Carla. She ain't there. Carla is played by Ronnie from Players Club. Her name is Crystal Wilson. You know her. And it's so funny to see her in this role when we know her for Ronnie. We gonna get into it. But her father, Eva and Carla. I'm going to say Eva sometimes. I'm going to say Ronnie sometimes. Okay? I'm going to say Bolo sometimes. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay? Madam and Carla are half sisters. They got the same father. So the father is sitting in there in a wheelchair, and he has dementia or whatever. And he's sitting there, but Carla ain't nobody there. So she walking around, Carla, where this bitch at? Carla ain't there. Carla ain't there. She's somewhere. She trifling. She not there. She left the father sitting there. So she talking to her father. He is nonverbal, but she talking to him and about to feed him some banana pudding, I think, or something. And then she noticed that he's sitting in piss. Daddy's sitting there in piss. Carla is who knows where, and Daddy's sitting there in his own mess. A damn shame. Okay, so she called Carla. Carla don't answer the phone, so then she called Aunt. She called Aunt and was like, come in here. I need your help. So she Aunt come in there, and she breaking down and she fussing. Why she leave my daddy sitting here? Whatever. I need your help. So Aunt say, hey, roll him off, about to go take him to go clean him up. Madam sit down, and she smoke a cigarette because she is just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Madam not to be played with, but she is really trying to get herself together, okay? So cut from there. We at a doctor's office with another guy who is safe to assume is another stripper or whatever, which he is. That's fine. So the doctor smacked straight off and saying, you got to start using condoms. And so he was like, well, damn, doctor, like that, I ain't even tell you, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. It ain't that. It's like a dark spot on my stuff. Like, what is that? There's a dark spot right here. So the doctor says your stuff is dying off from you getting it together, okay? From you getting it together and then stopping the blood flow, okay? Figure it out because this is my first video and I ain't trying to have YouTube on me. You know what I'm talking about. So the doctor's like, you got to stop doing that. He like, I can't stop doing that. This is my money. It's money to be made. I'm a grower. I need to be able to whatever. The doctor like, well, what you want me to tell you? This is what it is. You got to stop doing this or you're going to lose it. Period. So, okay, wait a minute. Back to madam. By the way, that stripper, his name is Midnight. They don't say it right there. They say it later, but I got to tell you who these people is I'm talking about. Okay, so back to madam at Carla's house. She on the floor trying to clean the piss up off the floor. My lashes is irritating me, y'all. This is my first video. Y'all don't judge me, okay? Anyway, she on the floor trying to clean the piss up, but she's crying hysterical or whatever. So Amp comes in. He finished with Granddad. He try to, he pick her up. It's going to be okay. Here comes Carla, trifling. What y'all doing in here? Matt going off. Here go Madam. What you leave him in here for? Why you leave him like this? Carla, have you been smoking in here? Okay. Madam was like, if you leave him in here like this again, I'm calling the police. Carla, let me pick this up for y'all because I wrote this down good. I'll call the police. I'll tell them all the illegal shit that you've been doing. Madam, let me put him in a home. Nah. I got the money. You know it's going to be a good home. You think that's about money? I don't want your money. What she said? Because I was writing fast. Sorry, y'all. Oh, I don't want your dirty money so I can end up like daddy. It's probably your fault why he ended up like this. And she was like, how is it my fault that daddy got dementia? I'm not talking about dementia. I'm talking about you getting him shot. So then Eva was like, that was a long time ago. Well, how long is too long to forget about being shot? Okay? So after she said that, that's when Amp stepped in. To, try to intervene or whatever. And so then that's when Carla was like, what you bring him up in here for? You murderer. So clearly, that's not Amp's mother. We can already establish that ain't his mama. So she must have another sibling or something somewhere or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Daddy was a pimp and a hustler, so it's no telling. This is only the first season. The second season is going to drop. What is the 14th? What is that? Thursday? Whatever. That's fine. But I guess maybe we'll figure out later on about some other siblings or whatever, or at least Amp's parents. Fine. So Carla tell him to get out, get the fuck out. And you got people, because he was like, when she said get out, Amp was like, come on, madam, let's go. And she's like, ugh, you got these people calling you madam. You down there with all them men at that club screwing all them men. And at that point, Eve was just done. She woke up on her, madam, sorry. She was like, I know you my half sister, but if I come in here and you leave my father alone again, I'ma fuck that half up. And that's when they walked out. Oh, I made a note right here. It's so funny. The in-betweens, all like the transition scenes, I don't know what y'all people call them or whatever, but all those little scenes, those shots that they show is like those common ATL scenes. Like I seen them in any show that's set in Atlanta. Like I remember seeing them same shots back on Keisha Cole reality show. I seen them on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I didn't see them on House of Pain and all that. It's them same as Atlanta shots. I ain't never even been to Atlanta, but I promise you when I get there, I'ma know what it look like. Okay. So we pull up to the club. Madam Act pull up to the club or whatever. And we see I don't want to say little, but she do seem like she kind of short. And I don't even want to keep saying she, but there's a stud out there, and I'm not offending nobody. Just roll with me, okay? I'm sorry. It's a stud out there, and she want to dance. I guess she been trying to get Madam to let her dance and then let her audition or whatever. And Madam is like, nah, my ladies like ladies. And she like, nah, I'm trying to tell you. Madam like, nah, get on. So they walk inside, Madam Amp, and we meet Dime. I saw her on something else. I can't remember, like a lot of these people on these shows, like you be seeing them in other, like especially other like BET shows, like Amp. I think Amp is on Sisters. I don't watch Sisters, y'all watch Sisters. I think Amp is on Sisters. I know that he, cause the one of the ones that's on Sisters is on the other BET Plus show, The Family Business, that I watch, and I think I'm gonna review that too. But she plays Sasha on there, but she's also on Sisters. I don't watch Sisters, like I said, but they together in real life. Anyway, so we meet Dime, and she's real cute, and she is Madam's assistant and DJ. So she asks Dime to drop Amp off at the halfway house for her or whatever. And so she does. They pull up to the halfway house and they talk a little bit and flirt. And he asks her, do you want to know what I went to jail for? She like, it ain't my business, but I hope you learned your lesson. All that. She asks him, is you can work at the club? And he like, nah, I don't want to work at the club. I don't really want to be around all that and all the liquor and all that stuff. So fine. He get out the car and go into the halfway house, and then we go back at the club and we in Madam's office. And then this is where we meet Blue. Blue is Madam's right hand. And I just love me some Blue. She's so cool. She's so sarcastic. I love me some Blue. Anyway, I don't know the actress who plays her. I haven't looked up like all the cast names, but I don't think I've seen her or anything else. But I really like her. She's pretty good. So we're in Madam's office, and Blue was telling her we got to move this money. I guess they got money. Well, I know it is because I watched this season, but I'm not going to tell everything like that. We're going to tell the story. So she's saying, we got to get this money out of here. We got to move this money. Madam was like, it's cool. I got it. We going to move the money or whatever. And then Madam was like, I need a lawyer. And she was like, you already got a lawyer. That's what Blue said. And then Madam was like, no, I need like a family lawyer. Don't Miss Patty do that? And Blue was like, you don't want Miss Patty. And she like, well, wow, like you want a lawyer that take care of Babyface or whatever. And she was like, nah, she good. And so Blue was like, okay, well, I'm going to look into it. I'm going to ask her. And then on her way out the door, she was like, we got to move this money. Okay, fine. Okay, so remember I told y'all Bolo Doc was sleeping with the married lady. Her name is Tina. Okay, so we go over to her, and she done called Doc, and she like, hey, what's up, boo? Everything cool? Trying to get him to come over or whatever. And we see that the husband is sitting on the end of the bed, sitting there listening to the call without smoking a cigarette. So she's trying to get him to come over. He like, yeah, it's gonna be late after work, and that's fine. So they get off the phone, and then this man and the husband, his name is Alan, but he's also on the Family Business. I'm pointing at the TV like so, but he's also on the Family Business and whatever. So he all mad. He like, you fucking somebody just at my club. She gonna sell this club. So I guess clearly he owns some of it, or he the partner or something. And so, oh yeah. Oh, so he put the cigarette out. Sorry, y'all. Excuse me. He put the cigarette out on her leg, like put it out on her leg and then flicked it at her. And that lady said, I don't like her. I'm sorry. I don't know if, I've never seen the lady that plays Cena before either, I don't think. I don't know if she's playing the part really well or if that's her. I don't know, but I don't like Tina. Okay, Tina's not a real person. I don't like her. I just don't like her. She get on my nerves. So Go back to be over at the club in the locker room with the guys. They getting ready. And Madam comes down for roll call. We see Babyface. That's the one. Did I tell you that? We see Babyface. And he is rubbing himself down with, like, I guess some icy hot or whatever. Because his name Babyface. His name is Babyface. He ain't no damn baby. Okay, niggas getting old. That shit hurt on a daily. Whatever. And so Madam was like, you can be smelling like a peppermint all night again. And Doc come in late. He got to pay a fine. I'm telling you, Madam don't play. Okay? Madam don't play. Midnight, dealing with his situation. That's fine. Time to open up the club. This is the first time we see the club and all of that. It's lit. All these ladies in there having fun. Money flying everywhere. They got their money guns. They got the guys behind the bar. Drinks flowing. They lit. And the show start up. And the guys come out. All four of them. Babyface, Midnight, Fuego, and who am I missing? Oh, and Doc. And they come out and they do like a little choreographed dance. I guess they say it's giving Magic Mike. I never seen it. That's what my little sister said. Say it's giving Magic Mike. So that's fine. They look good. The ladies just turn. They throwing money and all of that. It's just about to storm, y'all. Turn my TV down. Okay. So then after they do their performance, then we see Doc do a solo performance, okay? And, like, now we see what it was giving RHOA. Let me say this. I'm not into male strippers. I appreciate anybody's craft. I appreciate the work. But male strippers, they don't do it for me. Like, I will go see women before I go see men. And I'm super straight. So that's just what that. It just like the men that I'm attracted to, they don't dance around like that. That's just my thing about it. But these men, they look good. They doing their thing. I ain't no hater. So what does it say? Oh yeah, Doc pulled the lady up out the crowd or whatever. You know how they do. Pull the lady up and they do all types of things to her and all that stuff and get the crowd all going. So they does all of that. And the Blue comes in Madam's office and tell her Alan is outside. So Madam goes outside, sits in the car, talks to him, and he's telling her that he has an offer to sell the club. And Madam was like, I'm not interested. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't care. And he's like, we got a 51-49 split, so I can entertain any offers I would like. And she's like, Eden is mine, and don't play with me. Like, period. So, and then she was like, and who is it anyway? And he was like, Jean. She like, my old boss. Oh, hell no. Get on out here. And he like, it's a good deal for both of us. And she like, good deal for who? I ain't selling nothing. Nah. Okay, y'all. So, Doc's still on stage doing his thing or whatever. They made sure, I wanted to note this or whatever. They made sure for Doc to be the first solo performance that we see because we know he's the famous one. Matter of fact, didn't Delicious just post something or something? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Whatever went on with Delicious on the stage with him or whatever, but they know that this came out like right after or right when all that was going on Housewives. So they made sure to, give us the one that we know like that for real, So that's fine. They wanted us to know what the fuck was going on. So when Madam come back in her office or whatever and tell Blue, what Anna was talking about, Blue is like, he is mad because Doc fucking his wife. And Madam was like, what? So she calls Tina. And it's like, does Alan know that you fucking Doc? And she said, yeah. And when did he find out? He found out today. He coming over later on tonight. So Eve was like, all right, Madam, sorry, listen. She was like, all right. Okay, back to the club. The club is lit. Miss Patty we see Miss Patty and Babyface. Now we see who Miss Patty is. She hogging all on him or whatever. That's fine. Eva comes over And she tells Babyface that somebody is requesting you in VIP. Go get that job. So he goes. Oh, before he goes, he tells her that Roman is in the parking lot. Now, Roman is who she was fussing with on the phone when she first picked up Aunt and he stopped at that lady house that was on the bam shit. That's who she was on the phone with. So he told her that. So she went to midnight or whatever, and was like midnight. I think she called him. I don't remember. Whatever. So she said he owes me 50 stacks, and he's over at Club Drip, balling out, buying bottles and whatnot. And Midnight was like, "You want me to go over there?" She was like, "Nah, I want you to go with me." So she puts these brass knuckles on. We see her put the brass knuckles on, and then we go cut to the VIP room. Babyface, and it's the motherfucking judge, y'all. It's the judge. In the VIP was like, "Oh, I seen you out there. Nah, you getting money. So come on in here, and if I don't like what it's giving, you going to jail. So you better get on your knees and..." Okay. So he did it. Now, back in the parking lot, I don't know if this was a problem, like an editing problem, a scripting problem, or if I missed something, I don't know. But Babyface told Madam that Roman was in the parking lot, right? But Madam told Midnight that he was at Club Drip. But they walked right outside into the parking lot where the man was, or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. She ain't playing with him. He had 2 bras all on him. They ran off. So she walked up on him, glass the fuck up. "I want my money. Where's my money? Next time I see you, you better have my money." So he on the ground, whatever. Midnight pat his pockets or whatever. And I think he kicked them or something. So then we see Madam back in the office. She cleaned off the brass knuckles. Clean off the brass knuckles. Put them back in the Lord. It looked like one of those ice buckets or whatever. She put that back in there. And we see her pop a pill, chase it with some brown. We don't know what the pill is, but moving on from there. The club is closed down. The guy's coming in for payout or whatever. Doc come in to pay out. And she's like, "What you about to get into tonight?" He was like, "Nothing. I'm about to go home, laying low." So she was like, "All right." And then he left. And Midnight asked Fuego about a private. Do he want to go to a private party with him or whatever and go, whatever. And Fuego was like, "Nah, I'm good." Midnight was like, "Whatever." So Doc walks into Tina's house. And he like, "Damn, why you got it all dark in here?" Allen busts out, "Cause you about to die, nigga," with the joint out to his head. And then in come Madam behind Doc and was like, "Pow! No, nigga, that would be you." And that's how the first episode ended. And had me hooked. It's really good. We're gonna go smack into it, cause I'm doing the first 3 episodes in this video. We're gonna smack into the next episode, and the next episode starts off right there with, "No, nigga, that would be you." Bang. So Tina all crying, whatever. Madam tells Doc to wrap this nigga up. Doc all, you know what I'm saying? He don't know what's going on. He like, "What? Wrap him up. Why you do that?" "Cause he was gonna kill you. So wrap him up," or whatever. So Tina's still making all that noise and they want her to shut up. So he all still acting all delirious or whatever. So Madam was like, Get out and leave the women to do what y'all men can't do. Cleaning up y'all's foolishness." So Doc leave, Madam leave. Blue like, "I got it." Make her help. So she told Blue to get the body to her office. Blue is so stupid. She's like, Shut up. You got a mop. Shut up. Shut up. It was funny. Anyway, you got to watch it because I can't do it. I'm not no impersonation person. But Blue was hilarious. So what does this say? Midnight at the private party. getting licked all on by two ladies or whatever, hitting them up a little booger sugar, you know what I'm saying? Doing all that. Madam calls us like, I need you, get to the club right now. Fine. So he leave. He ain't want to leave, but he left. Back at the club, she said they burying him in the back of the club, and she was like, bury him deep. And in the spring, I'm gonna put a patio over him. So, where we at? Back at the halfway house with Aunt. Aunt got this weird ass roommate named Red. And I peeped him on the Family Business also. I'm really gonna have to get y'all into that show if you're not already. But he is just so weird. He asking all these questions and he all up in the business. And it's just too much. It's just too much. And you know, people, especially coming out of jail, they don't like that. And he's just real life giving way, way too much. So yeah, he was telling him, you ain't gonna find a job, you a felon. I can't get no job, I'm working under the table. Woo woo woo. Just doing too much. Aunt trying to brush him off, but he still just all up in shit. Just being way too overburned, way too thirsty like. So Aunt then goes, does this little intake meeting or whatever with the man, what's his name, Paul, the PO of the house or whatever them people was called in the halfway house. And he telling Aunt he gotta take randoms, and I don't have no problem sending none of y'all niggas back to jail. All that press ass shit that they do, you already know. So cut back to Madam's house, because of course it's the next morning or whatever. And Madam is having breakfast and Blue coming. And she was like, Blue, Doc ain't help, and I'm worried about him. And Madam is like, I ain't worried about that. I just got me another ally, because Alan was trying to sell my club, and I ain't rocking for none of that. And now I got Doc in my debts. I can use all this to my advantage. I ain't worried about it. And Blue was like, that's what I be talking about. That's what I be talking about. And this is when we see, this name of this show is called All the Queen's Men for a reason. Not just because, you know, on the surface it's just because she a woman and she running a male strip club. But no, it's All the Queen's Men because she really is using everything and everyone around her like pieces on the chessboard, and like she is the queen. Now, I don't play chess, but I know that the queen is like the most important one on the board or whatever. And oh yeah, you want to always protect the queen. And she's going to make sure that she's always protected. Like, she's not playing. And Eva is doing some really good acting on this show. Eva been acting, but she's doing really, really good. So then, Madam tell Blue, she was like, come on over here, I got a surprise for you or whatever. So they cut off. We don't see it just yet, but we're going to come back. So then we got Midnight, Babyface, and Fuego. They at the gym doing their gym shit. They talk about his court case and everything. And Babyface is telling them about the judge being in VIP and stuff. And so they like, the guys is like, oh, don't let Miss Patty find out about it. Because clearly Miss Patty is possessive, but she take care of him or whatever. Well, I think she pay his rent and his car and give him pocket money, you know. This storm coming. Doing all of that. So Midnight was telling him, like, that's not a good idea. You know, I had me a lady like that. And when things went bad, she took everything and fucked my credit up because the car was in both our names. And you ain't doing that, is it? But I think the car that Babyface is driving is in her name. Whatever, child. So, right. Babyface trying to change the subject or whatever, asking like, where's Doc at? I ain't trying to hear this shit, whatever. So then the owner of the gym, or I'm assuming she an owner of the gym, or she at least work at the gym, whatever. She walk over and, you know what I'm saying, it's a white girl, whatever. I really think that it might be Gidget. Now, I don't think that all white people look alike, but it's two white girls, but they look alike. And I think one of them is Gidget from P-Valley. Y'all watch it, y'all let me know, okay? But anyway, she come over there to Fuego and she all flirting. Can you help me fix my computers? Because he does like IT or whatever. So they walk off and the guy's like, So back to Madam house. Her and Blue was getting massaged. She done booked a whole spa day for her and Blue at her house. Bosses. Real good. Mani, petty, all that stuff. So she was thanking her for always having her back and always being her right hand, and that's what it was all for. And it was real cute or whatever. So then we back to Fuego, and her name is Tony, because I need to call her by her name. Her name is Tony. They offer like a little in a room, like, because I think it was the laptop that she used to play music for Pilates or something. So they over there and they working on the laptop. He was like, you know, you could have did this yourself. And he trying to roll out, but she trying to get up on him. And this is, no, first she says she seen some of their stuff online, and they not supposed to be posting that stuff. Madam has a strict policy about like recording their pictures and stuff like that. And she said, I would come and see you at the club, but you know, we don't know, but we gonna come back to that. So at this point, he trying to roll out. He like, all right, fine, whatever. But she ain't letting up. And this will we see that they supposed to be showing us that the male strippers get treated, I guess, how women strippers get treated, where, you know, people just think that they just down for sex with whoever, or they can even pay them. Because she trying to get up on it. He trying to say no, and she offering to pay him and everything. And then she was like, didn't you say I gave you the best that you ever had? And then she just went ahead and did it. And we all know that other way around, that's like assault. That's like assault, but that's another video for another day. The storm is here, y'all. I had to go close my window. Can y'all hear it? Y'all probably can hear it, can't you? The storm is here. So we gonna try to just keep on moving along. So yeah, they really showing us how like male strippers be getting treated like pieces of meat, like how women strippers do. I guess. I don't know. I'm either. So that's fine. Moving on. Where was I? Okay, so we cut to a restaurant, outside of a restaurant that Madam is pulling up to. We see this girl getting jumped by two other girls. Madam pull up, she hop out, break it up. The two girls run off, and so she talking to the girl, and why they messing with you? And the girl give her a little sob story. Cause I'm fat. The girl was not fat, but she was like, cause I'm fat and look at my clothes. They always making fun of me, and I got no money, and I'm in foster care, and whatever. I think that's what she said. But Madam gave her cell phone. It was like, my number in here, and if they mess with you again, call me. And then she took the phone back and called her friend, her stylist, I guess both, Gabriel, and was like, I'm sending a girl over here, over to you named Shamika. Get her together. He all fussed. I'm sorry you sending me these charity cases, Miss Madam. Okay? Because you always, what he said? Because I be right. Some of these lines just be too funny. I seen you bash a bitch's head in without a second thought, but you would stop your car to help a kitten or a kid. And then Madam was like, well, somebody got to do it. You sure ain't. So they done with that, go inside, and she sits down with Dime. They talking to Dime. They eating breakfast, lunch, what the hell of a brunch, who knows. So she thanks Dime for dropping her nephew off at the halfway house, and Dime was like, it's not no problem. And Adam was like, yeah, I seen you looking at him, it's okay, cause he a good dude. And she like, nah, I ain't think about him like that. And so she was like, well, you know, it's been a while since you. And Dime kind of like stopped, and she don't want to talk about her date and shit or whatever. We'll get more into that later too. So Madam says she's thinking about opening up another club and letting Dime run it. So we like that. Over on the other side of the restaurant, like sitting at the bar, there's this mixed couple. It's a black guy and a white girl, whatever. And the girl's like, there she go, she over there, go talk to her. You want to go dance, go talk to her. And so like he kind of nervous, and he like, you don't want me to dance for real, you jealous? She was like, I was jealous, and I seen how much money you could be making. Now you need to go over there and go talk to her, because you could do what you could do. Instead of she gassing him up or whatever. So he go over there, and my name Jay, and he all stuttering, and they playing with him and brushing him off and joking with him and stuff. And she asked him, is that your girlfriend over there? That white girl, your girlfriend? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, don't bring that bitch in my club. I deal in black excellence only. And she gonna be jealous or whatever. And fine, whatever. So they still messing with him and asking him how many inches and this, that, and the third. But long story short, because y'all need to just watch, and I ain't getting into all that. She tell him about amateur night and call down, or she'll call you, whatever the case may be. And he all excited. It took too long to walk off. Okay, fine. Back at the halfway house with Aunt. He's calling, checking on jobs and getting rejected. And here come Red, running his mouth, being weird. You ain't gonna get no job. You need to see about your aunt. Woo, woo, woo. And he like, I ain't trying to do it. But no, that's not what he said. My fault. He was like, I am gonna do it. And then Red is like, ooh, get me in. And he like, nah, calm down. I gotta see, you know what I'm saying? Let me get my foot in the door. But you need to relax. You just way too daggone thirsty and it's getting on my nerves. Okay? So, at that point, what happened? Boom, back at the club. Gabriel brings Madam the clothes or whatever, and he fussing, talk about she about to age out of foster care. I don't know what she gonna do with them clothes you done bought for her. And Madam was like, what? Okay, fine, whatever. They talk they little trash. She going to her office. So then Doc comes in and he sits down. He's like, sorry about last night. And she like, it's all right. It's all over with. I ain't worried about it. He worried about Tina snitching. Madam says she ain't worried about it. So fine. Fuego comes in. Oh, yeah. Fuego comes in and tells her about the post that's up of like them dancing, because it's not supposed to be none of that. Like I said, she has a strict policy against recording people and taking pictures and all of that. So they talking. She's like, well, this could be good, and I want you to run it because, like I said, Fuego does the IT stuff. So she was like, just little clips. Don't give them too much, enough to make them want to come, and don't show none of the customers' faces. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do this discreetly, and thank you for bringing this to me. Okay, fine. Time to open up the doors of the club. Time to go to eat. And see, it's really good, but it just don't sound as good as going to the Pink. But time to open up eating. Now, this time, as they showing the shots and stuff for the club, I saw a white girl. Now, I think it was the girl Tony, but it might not have been. I don't have the best eyes, and it was a quick shot. I am not trying to say all the white people look alike, but I mean, they was both white and blonde and giving small, and they both look like Gidget. I don't know. But that just made me think, because I'm like, when Tony was talking to Fuego and she said, I would come see you at the club, but like, is Eva really getting away with not letting white folks in the club? Like, I don't see that happening. But I don't know. So cut to, we see a girl, not about a different girl. She's recording with her phone, and Madam goes over and she was like, excuse me, we have a strict policy against taking pictures. And the girl rolled her eyes and was like, as much as I paid to get up in here, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do or whatever. And so Blue Surfer was like, we got a problem. And Madam was like, no, I got this. So the girl jumped up in Madam's face like, what you got? Because she was like, y'all bitches crazy. And then Madam was like, I got this. And that's when she jumped up and was like, what you got? And Madam, of course, glassed that ass. Okay, grabbed her by her little cheap ponytail, pulled her up on the stage, and was like, y'all get off the stage, stop the music. Now hey everybody, this right here is, what's your name? And the girl was like, Keisha, my nose is bleeding. And Madam was like, Keisha, my nose is bleeding, is in here taking pictures, and y'all know I don't do that. So she can't come in here, and the next time I see you in here, Keisha, my nose is bleeding. More than your nose will be bleeding. Now back on with the show. So, where's I'm at? Boom. Okay, so then we see this lady sitting over at a table. She got a section. And I believe it's that lady who used to be on Sister Circle with Selena Johnson in them. I don't know her name, but she kind of looks like Vanessa Bell Calloway. And she also looks like that lady Tamara Hole. But she not even one of them. She the lady from Sister Circle. But anyway, on here, her name is Miss Tandy. And she got the money and she likes to have fun. Okay? So, where's my notes? Oh, Madam sends Midnight and Doc over there to Miss Sandy, and she's like, that's one of my elites. Take care of her, and she will take care of you. So they go over there, and they start grinding all on her, and she had a stack of wounds like this. It was a stack of ones like this, and she grabbed the whole thing and smacked it on Doc's chest and let it all run down and stuff. Child, she like to have fun. We gonna get back into Miss Sandy a little later. So there's some lady or whatever who be always cooking stuff for Fuego. So we see her bringing the food. I think she gave it to like the security guard or whatever. He had to get back in there. So when they went back to the locker room, they like, oh, what is this? Is this the same lady who made the wings? Is this the same lady who made tamales? Is this the same lady who made brownies? He's like, yes, it's the same lady. So they digging in. I think it was lasagna that she made this time. So they digging in, and then you hear Madam over the loudspeaker sounding like Dollar Bill. You get fat, you get fired. So next thing, Tina called Doc. Tina's calling Doc, and she sounding all weird. I don't like her. I don't know if it's her. I don't know if that's the acting. I don't know if it's the character, and the actor is doing a good job. Whatever it is, Tina irritates me. So she on the phone, and she's like, hey, I can't believe that she did that. And he's like, did what? I can't believe she killed him. And he was like, what? Because she's sitting there with the damn police. And he like, what? Didn't I tell you, don't be calling me when you been smoking that shit? And she was like, what? So he hung up on her. So the police, and so the lady was like, not the lady, Tina was like, I know he saw her. And the lady, the detective, because it's the lady detective, she was like, don't even worry about it. This lady is out of control, and I'm trying to get her under control. We gonna get her. Don't worry about it. Fine. That's the end of the second episode. So now we know that for more reasons than one, the police is on Madam. Okay? The police is on Madam. Episode 3, y'all. It's the third episode. It's the same night we come in. Because the one thing I like about this show is the way they cut the episode off with a cliffhanger. They pick right back up where they cut you off at. And, you know, they dropped the whole season at once on BET Plus. It ain't like you gotta wait weeks and weeks and weeks. But, you know, the thing about binge watching, it be over fast. And then you be mad because now, instead of having to wait a whole week, you're going to have to wait a whole year if you're lucky, because, hell, how long we waited for P-Valley? I'm going to keep on talking about P-Valley. And I'm not trying to compare the two shows, but, of course, there's similarities in the shows. But I don't think I'm ever going to review P-Valley because, like, we all reviewing P-Valley. It's like I watch P-Valley and, hell, I get 50 reviews on TikTok, and then I watch Bondi Blue. If I don't watch nothing else, I'm going to watch Bondi Blue. That's one thing to know about me. Hey, Bondi. Anyway, episode 3. Same night, the guys are coming in, they paying out. So, Babyface comes in, and Madam was like, you was in VIP, hold up, because you was in VIP for a long time the other night, and you was light. So, what's going on? So, Babyface is like, it's a long story. And she like, well, I got time. He like, I don't want to even get into it. Can we talk about it tomorrow? All right. You going to talk about it, though. It's cool. Madam not going to never let you see her sweat, darling. Nobody. For nothing. Okay? So, also, Miss Patty, tell her that she need to let you get around so you can make your money and stuff. Okay? Okay. So, then Blue says, because Babyface walked out, and Blue was like, and that's who you want to represent you with your father? And Madam was like, I got this. Let me run this. She always be saying one of her little lines that she say, this is my play. I got this. Okay? So then Blue says, we got to move that money. Okay? We need to move that money. And Madam was like, it's all good. Everybody on this side of town know what the fuck is mine. And don't touch my money. Don't touch nothing of mine or whatever. And Blue is still like, we need to move the money. Okay. So Midnight comes back in because he had already He had already dropped off his money first, but then he came back in and was like, oh, I got some extra money for you, madam. And Miss Tandy said she wants to talk to you tomorrow. So she was like, okay. And then she was like, where's Doc at? And I don't know where the fuck he said Doc was at. I think Doc was outside or something. So I forgot. I ain't write that down. So, intro with the theme song and stuff. Now, you know, the theme song, I don't know, it's not as good to me as, of course, P-Valley. Because P-Valley, we already know that's about. And also, I'm going to come back to the Family Business. The theme song for Family Business is my joint. But, fine. Madam said, where's Doc? And she was like, he been acting strange all day. Let me go get him. He gonna have to get a stomach for the real shit. And then we go to the intro, okay? Boom. So we come back from the intro. Okay, so Madam and Blue walk into the locker room, whatever. They talk to Doc, and she like, what's going on? He like, nothing, but like, Tina called me, and she was trying to get me to say that you killed him. Like, I think she trying to set you up. And so he was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? She mad, but she ain't going to show off too much. She like, all right, we're going to go over there and talk to her. So, boom. Fine. Amp and Red back at the damn halfway house, okay? And Red is telling Amp about how he must have been having a nightmare last night because he was talking in his sleep, saying something about Shannon. And Amp was like, stop watching me sleep. He like, I ain't watching you sleep, nigga. We roommates. You doing all that. But no, that nigga's being nosy, asking him all about Shannon and why you talking. Just doing so. He's just, I can't. Whenever it comes to his scenes, I be having to skip over him because he's just so weird and so pushy. Like, I can't even deal with it, okay? And Red is like, what happened to you in there? What happened to you in there? Did you get raped in there? And I was like, what? Get the fuck on, man. Just get the fuck on. I keep doing too much. I just know he up to some shit. He got to be up to something because he just do too damn much. And then he pressing him out about working at the club and all that. And was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to work the door. And I'm going to see about you. Leave me alone. You can see then as when Amp walks off, the camera goes back to Red. And he got that hating ass nigga face. Just like, what you doing all that for? That man did nothing to you. So Amp go out on the porch and that's when he called Madam, was like, man, yeah, I'm going to take the job or whatever. And we got to get to, oh no. He was just like, he says I want the job on the door. Fine. So we get back to Madam, and so they show the outside of her house. They show like the outside of her house, and that's where it's Lucia's house from Empire. That's really what the house look like. But either way, we see Madam and she is in a fit. It's lacy. It looks like one of the things that Beyonce wanted her Formation Awards or outfits or whatever. I think it's Dolce, but it's black, it's lacy, it's pretty as shit. So she on the phone with somebody saying she gonna meet somebody somewhere, and then Blue come in and says that the police sitting at Tina's house all night. And Madam was like, ooh, she snitching. She must have snitched. And then Blue was like, I don't think so, because it's Cat. Cat is the police, and that's also Blue's, like, lady or whatever. So she talk about, as soon as Blue starts talking about Cat, she all blushing and stuff. And Eva like, ooh, girl, look at you. I never see you do all that or whatever. And Blue like, man, go ahead, whatever. So she called her in there. And then Gabriel had called her, and she was saying that she needed all these more outfits. And he like, girl, what you need all these outfits for? All right, fine, whatever, I'm gonna get you outfits. So then Blue come in with Cat, and Madam is like, how y'all know? And she was like, an anonymous tip. And Madam was like, ain't no such thing. But she was like, I'm working on it. I'm working on trying to figure out who it was. And then so Madam was like, well, when you coming up in the club? And that's when Kat was like, well, if you want me to come up in there, I'm going to need a little bit of something different. You know what I'm saying? Something other than those men that you got up in there. And we see what it's leading up to, right? Okay. So then we see Madam at a restaurant with a man. We hadn't seen this man yet, but his name is Marcus. She called his name Marcus. And she tells him that she wants to get some property. She wants to start looking at properties because she wants a new club twice the size of Eden. And this is going to be all on her own because she was like, Marcus was like, well, what's up with Alan? Is Alan down with that? And she like, ain't no Alan. I'm doing all this on my own. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, so, and due to that, I'm going to need everything to be right. Everything needs to be in place. Liquor license, all the permits, insurance, all that stuff. And so he was like, well, you know, because if you wanted to be twice the size, it's going to be twice the insurance. She like, whatever, fine. So now we go back to Carla's house. Excuse me, y'all. We go back to Carla's house. And Daddy's sitting there by himself again. But this tall man came in there. This tall black man came in there. And the door, yeah, he just walked in there. Is the door unlocked? I don't know. But he just walked up in the house. And he's sitting there. And the man just looking all at him. Just, inspecting him. Looking him all over. Snapping in his face. I guess seeing how his reaction is going to be. I don't know. That's what he was doing. And Carla came in. And she like, who the fuck are you? And he was like, sorry, the door was open. And she was like, no, it wasn't. I don't know. So he was like, I'm a friend of your sister, Marilyn. Now, when he said that, it threw me. Of course, Carla not paying attention because she don't like the bitch. She don't want to hear none of that shit. So when he said Marilyn, I knew something was up because, like, everybody calls her madam. So I knew he is the op or he the police, period. So she was like, so what? You here to serve me? You here to serve me some papers or whatever? And he like, what? So she all fussing and going off. Nah, she ain't taking my daddy nowhere. Just saying shit that she did not need to be saying. And you could tell that because the way the man was just standing there taking it all in of what she was saying. And so she was just doing too much. And who the fuck is this man? You don't even know who the fuck he is, and you just running your mouth. And so then I think so he left. Yeah, he left. And at the club, Midnight is telling Madam, giving them some updates on Roman. So she was like, stay on him, don't do nothing yet. I got a little heat coming my way. Ain't nothing I can't handle. Whatever. So cut back rather to the man that was in Carla's house. He is on the phone with Christian Keys. You know who Christian Keys is? Christian Keys he's the creator of this show. And I've seen him in some Tyler Perry plays. And of course, we know Tyler Perry executive produced this show and stuff. And now that because I think this show is based on a play that he wrote, which all ties in together. And now that I think back, remembering him and Medea Goes to Jail to play, yeah, he probably was a stripper. I don't know his story, but if he was a stripper in his day, I could definitely see that. So anyway, the man that was in Carla's house is on the phone with Christian Keys. I don't think we know his name yet, so I'm gonna just have to keep calling him Christian Keys until I either get to my note where I wrote his name down, or they tell us whatever. So they on the phone, and Christian Keys is sitting outside the club at the same time that the man is still sitting outside of Carla's house. And basically, they watching Madam and her father. Okay, so because he like, I did that. He like, yeah, I'm still sitting on her. Don't do nothing yet. Follow my lead. Basically, I don't know who these men is, but they got their eyes on Madam and her daddy. Okay, so back at the club, Madam and Dime. Madam tells Dime that Act is about to come work at the club, show him the ropes, keep your eye on him, help him. And she was like, I can see you kind of like him. Don't sleep. He's a really good dude. And Dime is like, I ain't on him like that. I ain't tripping. So, cut to the locker room. Midnight, Fuego, and Babyface is in the locker room. And another dancer who we had not seen yet comes in. And they looking at him like, what the fuck is he doing in here? And then he went and used the toilet, y'all. Apparently, there is a junior dancer and senior dancer locker room. So you have to, I guess, be making a certain amount of money to use that good locker room or whatever. and they don't come over there. So they get all up in his face or whatever. They like, nigga, what you doing over here? The nigga was like kind of brushing past them. And then that's when Madam walked in, and was like, what's going on? So they like, this nigga done walked over here. She was like, don't come over here unless you making the money to be over here or whatever. And they like, yeah, nigga, don't get fucked up. And she like, calm your ass down. It ain't all that serious. He made a mistake, whatever. So moving on. She was like, a baby face. We still need to talk about what we need to talk about. Then, wait a minute. Midnight seemed irritated. That's what my note said. I'm sorry. Midnight seemed irritated or whatever. And then she was like, where's Doc at? And they was like, he outside. She was like, oh, y'all need to get y'all lives. Get y'all shit together. That's what it was. Everybody is just whatever. So, back in the office. Back in Madam's office, Blue tells her that the man is here. Oh, I gotta plug my phone up. Hold on. Had to plug my phone up, y'all. So Blue told Madam that I think she called him the short fat man, the little fat man or whatever is here, but it's the man Gene, her old boss. So she told him to come in, so he come in and he sit down, and he wants her to reconsider his offer to stay with the club or whatever. And he was saying, I need you for, I guess, to go in on whatever new venture he trying to get into. She was like, you must be joking. You must be joking. And he said, you must still be in your feelings about what happened before. And she was like, yeah, you full of shit. I ain't rocking with it. Get on out, whatever. And this right here was some bullshit. Because that man said, this what I be talking about. That angry black woman syndrome. Sometimes you women get all caught up in emotions over business matters. That's why you don't make good business partners. It's all that estrogen. Baby, I could make a whole video on just that. But yeah, that's what he said. I ain't even going, you know what I'm saying? Madam didn't even. She was like, okay. That's exactly what the fuck I've been talking about. That's the Gene that I know. And that's exactly why I'm not fooling with you. You can see your way out. So, I ain't done talking. And then Blue was like, you've been asked to leave. She said it real loud, right? She was like, you've been asked to leave. Okay. In 30 seconds, you will be trespassing. And then she was like, see, I had to say that out loud in case I got to kill you. So you need to get your ass up out of here, okay? So, you're moving on. And Madam said, don't get buried out back, as he was walking out. And then Blue turned to her and was like, motherfucking girl boss. And then Eva, she picked up her cocktail and I guess kind of like toasted herself. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, hell. Let me put my cup in the shot, y'all. Oh, hell, the queen. In the club. Midnight giving his solo. Now we see Midnight solo. And he doing this thing, and then we cut over to Miss Patty's section, and she over there with Babyface acting like, you know what I'm saying, and he rolling his eyes, he all irritated. So Madam Peep the scene, she come over and she tells Babyface to come over. She's like, I told you about this and whatever. And she runs down how she take care of him, and was like, you know what I'm saying, pays for the condo and the car and all this stuff. And she was like, you too old for this. And he like, well, I gotta make my money. She's like, well, I can put you on the private parties with the rest of the guys. Like, you ain't got to be doing this. So then he was like, I'll end it. And she was like, okay, but let her down easy, because I still want her to keep coming back here to be a customer. So fine. we see go outside the club, and Doc is outside smoking the J, and Madam come out and was like, you know that shit ain't allowed, and she take the J from him. She take his J, and she hit in the J, and she talked to him, and he talked about what he been through. He was like, I've been through this, and I seen this and that, but I ain't never seen nobody get their brains splattered out like that. And this is when we see Madam put her pimp game down. And I ain't never had a conversation with a real pimp, but the little bit of stuff that I do know, I know for a fact that this scene was to show us her pimping, because it started out with Doc talking about how I'm not soft and I ain't scared, but I ain't never seen that, and you know what I'm saying, I ain't never seen that, and I don't know if I'm built for that, woo woo. And then she starts and was like, she was like, was that your first time? That's what it was. It was like, is that your first time? She was like, man, my grandmother once again, she gave him the little rundown or whatever. And I ain't gonna give it to y'all the whole thing. Y'all can go watch it. But basically, when she was like, he tried to take what was mine. All y'all are mine. And this is what the pimps do. Okay, this is what the pimps do when they tell you the stuff to make you feel like it's a unit, it's a family, it's a this, it's a that. And so, because from her saying that, y'all are mine, and then that's when he was like, yeah, because yeah, I'll do anything for you. Like, I can't I can't even give it to y'all the way I wish I could give it to y'all. You kind of gotta watch it, but like, game recognized game, and pimping ain't easy, but it's damn sure necessary. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. She made him rethink his whole. She made him rethink his whole demonstration, y'all. I think I got a mosquito bite. Don't you hate that? Anyway, back in the locker room, Midnight is watching some corn, trying to get himself together and do what he been doing. Madam come in. Madam, I don't know, I said Madeline. Madam come in and she like, what is you doing? He explained to her what's going on, and she tell him that he gonna have to stop. I don't know what you gonna do, but you can't keep doing that. I seen this happen before. You gotta stop doing that. So back out on the floor, on the dance floor for the men's and stuff, they come out doing the Jamaican theme joint. Bum 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 bum. They doing that thing, okay? So Babyface is over at the table, not Miss Badger's table for once, but he was over at the table doing his thing, and we see Blue C, the judge walking, going off the VIP. So Blue goes and tells Babyface, go on the VIP. And when he comes out of VIP later on that night, Madam is waiting, standing outside. And she's like, what is going on? What the fuck is going on? Why is you in there all that time? What is going on? Why is you got this little bit of money? You back there all that time? So he goes on. He explains to her what's going on. So she's like, you brought a judge up in my club, and you fucking her in VIP. Why? He was like, because I don't want to go to jail. What, you don't want to go to jail? Was she blackmailing you? He was like, yeah. She was like, all right. Okay. All right. I got this. But pay your baby mama. Pay your child support, or get that baby mama together. I got this. And she asked, oh no. Then Blue comes out, and Blue's like, you want me to handle it? She's like, no. I got this. Oh, I got this. And she was like, did she valet? And Blue's like, yeah, she valet. Okay. Madam's like, all right. And you see her wheels is turning, because she about to put a move into play. Okay. And we go back to Carla. We see Carla pulling up in her driveway. And she goes in, the doors open again. She go in there. Daddy ain't there. She running around, daddy ain't there. What you worried about? You keep leaving his ass in there. So she called Madam, And of course, she don't answer the phone, but she leave a message saying, if you don't bring daddy back to my house in 24 hours, I'm calling the police. And then we see that man, the tall black man, got daddy out sitting like by a lake. And he was like, have you ever been swimming? Do you know how? And so we see like daddy's got like a scared kind of look on his face, but of course he don't say anything. And I'm like, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. He might can't speak, but he can understand. You know what I'm saying? But that's the end. That's the first 3 episodes, and I'm telling y'all, I really like this show, and I hope y'all like it too. I started doing this because I like to watch reviews. I watch It's Rocks. I watch Erica De Niro. I love me some Bondi Blue. I watch Ashley, Shy Miller. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people I watch the most. I do watch Niecy Dixon sometimes too, and Jamie, because I watched the ladies first. But those are the most of the ones, and I like the reviews. But some shows I see a lot of people are not reviewing, and I looked up. I didn't really see anybody reviewing All the Queen's Men or The Family Business. A lot of these shows that's on BET Plus and some other things too. And I have been wanting to do a YouTube channel, so I was like, well, let me do it and let me do these shows that I want to see being done. So I hope y'all like it, and I hope y'all stick around with me. I'm gonna do some I want to review some shows. I want to do some other things. So let's start this journey together. And I hope you just like and subscribe or whatever. And I don't know, I guess that's it. And I will see y'all in the next one, because I'm gonna try to hurry up and do this first season, because the new season is dropping. What did I show y'all? Today is the 12th, Wednesday, Thursday. The new season is dropping Thursday. I don't know if I'm gonna get all the episodes done by Thursday, but we're gonna get it together. So I hope y'all will be back. Deuces.